What is going on, Arizona sports fan family? How are we doing out here today on this beautiful Friday evening when we're here to talk to Arizona Cardinals versus the Seattle Seahawks? Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the final game of the regular season, and it's so crazy, man. It's absolutely super crazy that the Arizona Cardinals are already in a playoff spot, and we just need to go ahead and take care of business if we want to contend for the NFC West. But big shout out to everybody that's currently in the stream right now. Definitely do me one huge favor. Put some fire emojis on the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and give some shout outs here. Thank you everybody for joining the stream. I understand it's a Friday night, but we're here to talk some Arizona Cardinals versus the Seattle Seahawks. We're also going to be talking about playoff implications. We're also going to be talking about playoff seedings for our Arizona Cardinals. So we have a lot to dive into here, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get started, obviously, if this is your first time here, my name is Mike. I go by the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube, a big Arizona Cardinal fan, and we're all here to talk some Cardinals, but do me a big favor, smack that like button and subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. It helps out the channel grow out tremendously, so definitely do me that favor there. Let's go ahead and get some banners all situated here. Let's get some shout outs on the comments. We got my boy Lennon in the house. What's up, Lennon? We got my guy Rick Avila, Kyler Murray in the house, Supreme Goat, Alexis, Keyshawn, let's see here, AJ, Spartan7 in the house. What's going on? I really appreciate you guys for joining through. We're going to have a very jam-packed show here today, which obviously we're going to go back and forth. I'll ask you guys questions, but let's go ahead and start off with the show. I don't think it would be a show without, obviously talking about Arizona Cardinal updates that we've had so far this today. We've had some pretty huge updates for the Arizona Cardinals, and one of them being that, and I know most of you guys already heard this already. But my goodness, I want some more fire emojis right now. But probably one of the best news that we've heard the entire day is that J.J. Watt was designated off of the IR list. Like, this right here is magical news here. This is beautiful noise, man. It's magic to my ears, and this is absolutely amazing here. JJ Watt is designated off the IR. Now, one thing to obviously mention here, everybody, this does not mean we're going to see JJ Watt versus the Seattle Seahawks. We already heard from Cliff Kingsbury. He said it was more of a precautionary reason, something that they had to do as an organization, as a team. He is trending in the right direction, but he's not in a state where he's able to play this game. It's most likely going to be ready for a playoff push, and that's exactly why JJ Watt was designated off of the IR. So this is absolutely huge news for the Arizona Cardinals. Not only are we a playoff team, but we seem to be getting healthier-ish, and we're going in towards the right direction here for our Arizona Cardinals here. So not only J.J. Watt, but we have the offensive line, like a starting offensive line, and Kyler Murray is really, hopefully, very excited to play behind this offensive line. We got everybody pretty much healthy. Everybody on the offensive line that's deemed as starters healthy for Kyler Murray to go ahead and throw the ball to. So obviously, we got DJ Humphries, got Justin Pugh, got Rodney Hudson, which every time we have Rodney Hudson in the house, he's always going to give you his best effort, and we usually more times than not win. And then we got Max Garcia and now Beachum as the right tackle. So definitely good news here all around for the Arizona Cardinals. Just in general, I'm really hoping for a strong playoff long push into the playoffs. But like I said, we got to get through week 18 first, in which we're going to be diving into the Seahawks-Cardinals game here shortly. But some more big news that just dropped today. And if you guys don't know this already, sorry for being the bearer of bad news. But Cliff Kingsbury came out already, or the Arizona Cardinals organization came out, and they said that two big key players are going to be out for this game. And that's going to be Chase Edmonds, which sucks because Chase Edmonds always has a very good games against the Seattle Seahawks. He gets good games when we're playing up in Seattle. He has very good games, but he is a big focal point in our run game, but he will be out in this game as well as Rondell Moore. It seems like he's still struggling with an injury as of right now. We don't have any information on Rondell Moore when he's coming back. My only prediction, if I was to give you one, is probably the first playoff game. We're probably trying to get everybody as healthy as we possibly can to see if we can make a strong, deep run into the playoffs. But like I said, it's just kind of one of those TBD type of things, and we kind of have to wait and see what happens with these players that are, starting to get healthier and healthier, which is really good news for our Arizona Cardinals here. But recap: JJ Watt off of the IR list, or designated off the IR list. They do have 21 days in order for him to put him in the active roster. So just because he's off of the IR list doesn't mean he's going to be playing, but he will be, eligible if they do choose to do that. But he's going to be most likely somebody that we're going to be getting into the playoffs, in my personal opinion. If not the first game, then maybe the second game, if we can get through the wild card weekend. And Chase Edmonds out, as well as Rondell Moore out. So those are definitely ones that I'm not really happy about, but we have seen some really explosive plays from Jonathan Ward. Not only that freakish one-hand catch, but he's actually had a really, really good preseason, in my personal opinion. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to look like. And I've always been a fan of Eno Benjamin. So let's take a look to see what he's going to do there. Now, I haven't quite 100% heard anything about James Conner. I don't know if you guys have. So if you have, let me know in the comments below. As of right now, I think he's still questionable. So it's still kind of up in the air. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? But I can see maybe us sitting him out one more game to make sure he's 100% healthy and roll with Jonathan Ward as well as Eno Benjamin. But it's going to definitely be something we will hear more, maybe Saturday morning, or during Saturday, or Sunday morning. So we definitely got to go ahead and wait up and see what's going to happen within those, those big news there. But let's jump into it here, man. Arizona Cardinals versus the Seattle Seahawks. I always do, a preview, a pre-recorded one, and I felt like it's actually a little better, so we can, have a conversation back and forth, so I can hear your guys' opinion and what you think the Arizona Cardinals need to do in order for us to beat the Seattle Seahawks. Now, if you take a look at the Seattle Seahawks this year, they didn't have the best record. They don't have the best year going on for them, and right now it's completely up in the air. Is Russell Wilson coming back? Is he not coming back? And I know Russell came out and said that he wants to stay in Seattle. I'm right there with you, Seahawks fans. I've heard it. But we've also have heard other quarterbacks say things like that. And what happens? The organization ships them off. So unless we start off, the 2022 season with him on the 53-man roster, I still do think it's going to be up in the air if Russell Wilson will be back, with them next year. But he's coming over along with the Seattle Seahawks, and they're coming into State Farm Stadium. Now, that has been the home of the Seattle Seahawks, where I felt like they've always had the Arizona Cardinals number. We go up to CenturyLink or Lumen Field, which is called now, and we beat them up there. They come down here and they beat us here, which it sucks to have that trend. But the Arizona Cardinals, what they need to do is they need to take all that noise out. They need to take all the trends out. They need to take all the history out and really hone down and focus and say what we need to do to win this game. Because the Arizona Cardinals, if they win this game, they have so much at stake beating the Seattle Seahawks this year. And I get it. It's a division game. It can kind of go any which way. Will I be upset if we lost? Yeah, of course. I mean, I want to win every single game. But I will definitely kind of look at the bigger picture and say, hey, we're a playoff team. I don't think we can get any lower than the 5th seed. So, hey, we're going to be sitting in that specific situation. But what do the Arizona Cardinals need to do in order for us to beat the Seattle Seahawks? Now, I was always able to get 3 big key points, in my personal opinion, what the Arizona Cardinals need to do in order for us to beat the Seattle Seahawks. Number 1, run the ball. Run. Now, I liked what we did against the Dallas Cowboys game. What I know we're going to start seeing from Kyler Murray from here on out, Kyler Murray, I don't expect them to have 300 yards. I don't. Any game from here on out, I don't expect them to have 300. If he does have 300 yards, then great. Perfect. That's an absolute bonus. But what I want to see from Kyler Murray, obviously plus 200 yards, so maybe 220, 230, and 2 touchdowns. Maybe a receiving or maybe a run and touchdown, something along those lines. But what I want to do is I want the Arizona Cardinals team to really start shifting and really figure out what we need to do. And that's going to be, we got to lean on the run game pretty heavy. We have our offensive line pretty healthy as of right now. So we need to take a look to see what type of run game we're going to be looking at. Now, I would love for James Conner to play this game. Absolutely. But I know there's a lot of fans that are saying, sit some people out. Let's make sure that we're completely healthy going into the playoffs. But honestly, I think we do have a lot to fight for in this game. Yes, we're already a playoff team, but we do have the NFC West. The NFC West is still up in the air right now. Now, the biggest thing that's going on right now, what do the Arizona Cardinals need to do in order for us to get the NFC West, right? We're going to talk about that here a little later on. So going back to my big key points here, run the ball. Now, I don't know if it's going to be James Conner, and I don't know if it's going to be, Eno, Jonathan Ward. It's all kind of up in the air right now. But running the ball is absolutely imperative. If the Arizona Cardinals are sitting at the 3-yard line and we're first and goal, the next 3 plays should have to be run, run, run. I don't want to see any more of these cutesy type of plays anymore. I don't want to see Kyler Murray, throw a ball in there. I mean, if it happens, and it's great. But I've seen so many times, and it kinds of bite us in the butt whenever we do too much of a cute stuff. If we have James Conner, if we have Jonathan Ward, just run the darn ball. Like, that's all I want to see if we're sitting in the 3-yard line and it's first and goal. We just got to make sure that we establish that run, because more times than not, we will be getting into the end zone. So running the ball is absolutely imperative. Obviously, not settling for, just getting field goals, which if it does happen, we got to take the field goals, especially if we're sitting on a 4th and long or whatever the situation is. Take the points, get the field goal, but obviously play for touchdowns. Key point number 2, manage the clock. And that's going to be coinciding with the run game situation. We got to run the ball, and that right there is going to make sure that Russell Wilson's going to be sitting on the sideline. That's where he needs to be for the most part of this game. And if we can manage the clock, I think that would be absolutely magnificent for the Arizona Cardinals, because not only are we running the ball deep and down their throat, but we're also getting some offensive snaps that we need, building chemistry and towards getting into the playoffs. Now, we don't have DeAndre Hopkins. He probably won't be coming back until maybe an NFC conference title matchup. And are we going to make it that far? I don't know. But we got to go ahead and make sure that we have the players that we have. AJ Green, Christian Kirk, what they call Tweezy, Antoine Wesley, Zach Ertz. We got to make sure that we lean heavily on them. So managing the clock is absolutely imperative. That's key point number 2, key to success. Key to success number 3. Kyler needs to have another Cowboys type of game. And what I meant by that is I don't care as a Cardinal fan that he doesn't have 300 plus yards, that he doesn't have 3, passing touchdowns. I don't care about any of that stuff. As long as we get the win, however we get the win, if it's 2 rushing touchdowns, if it's, 150 yards, 180 yards, passing, I don't care. If we get the win, we get the win. So if we can get Kyler Murray to have a similar, not obviously exactly what we've seen in the Cowboys game, but something similar to that, I feel like we can put our, hang our hat on that. Kyler Murray needs to have a similar game to what we had against the Dallas Cowboys. Lean on the run a good amount of time, but also use your playmaker, and that's going to be Kyler Murray. So I'm going to make sure I have a 3 keys of success, but a 3.5, I'm going to have to say, wide receivers need to step up as well. And the wide receiver that stepped up against the Dallas Cowboys, obviously, who I'm trying to talk about, Antoine Wesley. Antoine Wesley, can he have another huge game for the Arizona Cardinals? Let me tell you one thing right now. If he does have another huge game like the Arizona or against the Dallas Cowboys, he could possibly be our number 2 next year. Possibly. So he's fighting for a job. He's fighting for a spot in the 53-man roster, not just this year, but for years to come. And what we're going to do here, this game is really going to be a tall task to ask for the Arizona Cardinals to kind of have that same type of, mojo, same type of chemistry going into this game. So that's exactly what I want to see. I want to see Tweezy have another game like he did. Kyler Murray basically managing the clock, doing as much as he possibly can, but also as little as he can as well. Because when we're sitting at the 3-yard line, first and goal, I want to see run, run, run. No more cute stuff. No more cute stuff anymore. Run, run, run. Get the ball in the end zone. If it's run with Kyler Murray, and that's cool too. Obviously, be careful with them because we need them in the playoffs. So some big obvious ones, some notable things that we also want to talk about. Obviously, win the turnover battle. I think the Arizona Cardinal defense played very, very well against a Dak Prescott team and a wide receiving core that's absolutely stacked. We did a very good job, especially with the amount of depleted secondary that we had against the Dallas Cowboys game. So if we could somehow get that production back, that would be amazing. But we got to make sure that Budda Baker plays the same. We got to make sure that we send some blitzes when the appropriateness comes through. It's going to be good, man. But I'm very, very excited. Very, very excited about this game. And obviously, it's the last game of the season. And I just want to make sure that I can hang my hat up and say, we did our best. We are now 12-5 going into the playoffs, and probably with the opportunity of moving in the seeding. Just really depends on what happens versus the Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. So, first thing we need to do is take care of the business that we need to take care of. I know there's a lot of games out there. We want to take a look to see what happens with the Cowboys. We want to take a look to see what happens versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Green Bay Packers, I don't see them very much as, a team that's any implications. They have the number one pretty much already locked. I don't think they're going to be moving off that number one spot. But we also want to, it's human nature to always take a look, above. What's the Cowboys doing? What's the Buccaneers doing? What's the 49ers doing? The Rams doing? Everybody that's within the playoff race, we're going to want to see what's happening. And I'm pretty sure the Arizona Cardinal players and the organization is going to want to see that as well. But we need to take care of business here. We need to take care of business, and that right there is absolutely imperative. So let's keep it moving here. Those are my big keys to success. Now, when I look at the Seattle Seahawks, they're a good team. Maybe not on record, but as long as they have Russell Wilson, you never know what type of matchup we're going to see. And I do think that this matchup is going to come down to the Arizona Cardinals whipping the Seattle Seahawks towards the beginning of the game. And I think we're going to kind of allow them to come back. I do see the Cardinals winning. I do see the Cardinals winning this game, but we got to take care of business. We got to take care of business. That's key point number one. That's what the Cardinals need to do. So those are my 3 keys to success. Let me know what your guys' keys to success on the comments below if you do choose to do so. But one of the biggest things here that I know a lot of us want to talk about here. A lot of us want to talk. Where are the Arizona Cardinals going to land? Where are the Arizona Cardinals going to land? Right? Right now we're sitting at the number 5 spot. With what's going to happen this weekend, and we got some games, man. We got some games on Saturday, too. If you don't know, Week 18 starts on Saturday. We got 2 games coming up this Saturday, and then obviously the rest of the games on Sunday. We have what games are tomorrow? So we have the Chiefs and the Broncos, which really doesn't affect the NFC. That's all AFC. But we got the Cowboys and the Eagles. What's going to happen there? Is the Eagles going to have, a surge of life and beat them? Who knows? We'll see. But that game right there can affect the seeding of the Dallas Cowboys. But on Sunday, that's when we're really going to find out where the Arizona Cardinals are going to land and where can they land. But as of right now, we are sitting at the 5th seed. We just got to take care of business. We got to take care of what we can take care of as a team. We could have been the number 1 seed, and that always kind of hurts me right now. Like, oh man, we could have been where the Packers are. But realistically, if you look at, and I know it's a catch-22, I understand that because, we're in this position right now, so I'm not going to say otherwise, but we're in that kind of weird situation right now where we honestly do play better when we're the away team. So if we stay at the 5th seed, I won't be too mad at it. But also at the other side of the coin, I do want the NFC West. Like, that's something that I would love to get. We haven't won the NFC West since 2015, and I would absolutely love to get the NFC West. I don't know if you guys feel the exact same way, but me personally, the NFC West is something that I have my eye on. I'm going to be keeping my eye open on that 49ers versus Rams game. I hope the 49ers can, beat the Rams because they always have their number, and then the Arizona Cardinals can take care of business. But this is what we're looking at here right now. I have a really cool simulator that I ended up finding online. It's actually a part of ESPN that I want to kind of use the simulator going back and forth. We're going to be picking games. We're going to be talking about, where the Arizona Cardinals can land. So as of right now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to take a look at a NFL playoff simulator to see where the Arizona Cardinals can possibly land. Now, if you guys want to get involved, obviously I have the comments right here, but there's 80 of you guys right now. If you want to, pick a specific, a game over the other, make sure you super chat. It has colors. It makes my eye go to it because Right now, everybody's gray, everybody's unison. But I'm going to be sharing my screen right now. We're going to take a look at a NFL simulator, and we're going to take a look to see what the Arizona Cardinals can possibly do with the weekend here. So let's take a look. Let me share my screen here real quick, and then we will be able to rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. So let's look at this. So here we go. You guys should be seeing this NFL simulator right here. Well, I'm sorry, I always have the wrong way. Here we go. The NFC simulator. There we go. We're going to go through this, and we're going to take a look to see what type of matchup the Arizona Cardinals can actually have here. Here we go. Can you see this, guy? Just let me know you guys can see it just so before we get started here. Let me give a big shout out here real quick. Michael, what's up, Michael? Thank you so very much. Michael and Haiti, thank you. Says, still wondering why Isabella isn't getting targets with D-Hop and Rondell out. That's a very good question, my guy. A very, very good question. I wish I can answer this for you. I really do. I think I would be on that same boat if Antoine Wesley didn't have a huge game like he did against the Dallas Cowboys. I think we most likely will be rolling with Antoine Wesley, Christian Kirk at the slot, and AJ Green on the opposite side. If we do have a four wide receiver set, we most likely will be putting Andy Isabella out there. But at the end of the day, it's really up to Kyler Murray to throw the ball to him. But he's got to build that comfortability with Andy Isabella. And Andy Isabella just never been on the field. Might not been his fault. Might be the coaching staff for not putting him out there. But it's kind of one of those weird situations where we always have to hang our hat and be like, why did we get Andy and DK was on the board? But, you know, I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. So let's go through the simulator here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to see where you guys think the Arizona Cardinals are going to land. Now, this is a beautiful thing here. I love this week 18. All we have to worry about is week 18 now. We don't care about AFC. We don't care about any of that other stuff. So we're going to focus specifically on the NFC teams. And we're going to take a look to see what happens here on the right-hand side of the field. If you guys haven't done this before, I highly recommend it. It's super fun. It's really cool to kind of see where your team is seating at. But let's take a look here. So let's look at the NFC team. So let's start off with the Cowboys and the Eagles. Now I'm going to go based off the people that are giving me the most votes in the comments below here. In your guys' opinion, do you guys think that the Arizona Cardinals, well, freaking I say Cardinals. Who do you think is going to win this game? Sorry. Do you think it's going to be the Eagles or do you think it's going to be the Cowboys? Now, this game is going to be set to be playing tomorrow. That's going to be the NFC matchup for tomorrow. Cowboys or Eagles? Who do you think is going to win this game? I'll give you my opinion here. In my personal opinion, I would love to say the Eagles. I would love to say the Eagles. But I do think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to, play better because they are upset that they lost to the Arizona Cardinals. In my personal opinion, I do think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to win this game. So keep putting it on the comments if you want to, but I'm going to go based off what I feel like is going to happen. So let's go with the Cowboys. So there are already some changes that are already happening here on this side. So we got the Cowboys winning, and then the next matchup on the NFC side is going to be Green Bay and the Lions. Now here, I'm not going to ask you guys. I know this is kind of an obvious one. I'm not going to, bore your ear to death here. The Green Bay Packers are going to win this game. Like, no doubt. You know what I mean? The Green Bay Packers are going to win this game. Let's move on to the next one. And then we got the Chicago Bears versus the Vikings. This one doesn't really have any playoff implications, so let's give the game over to the Vikings. This is for giggles. You know what I mean? We're not really focusing too much on that one. And then we got the Washington football team and the New York Giants. Again, something that does not really matter very much. So let's give it to the Washington football team. Okay, perfect. Now we got some games that matter here. So next we have the Falcons and the Saints. Now, the 49ers need the Falcons to win. They need the Saints to lose. Let me just go that way. They need the Saints to lose. In your guys' opinion right now, do you guys think that the Saints are going to be able to beat the Matt Ryan-led Falcons? Now, if you take a look at the Saints, they're a good team. I think overall rounded, they're actually a pretty darn good team. They are. But they're playing a Falcons team, but they got Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan isn't that bad. I mean, I know he's declining. He's not looking so good. He's got some really good weapons, though. He's got some very good weapons. Unfortunately, they don't have Calvin Ridley, so as of right now, they can't lean on that very much. But they got probably one of the most explosive tight ends, rookie tight ends that we've seen in a very long time in Kyle Pitts. Who do you guys think is going to win that game? We have a lot of people saying Saints. Okay. They will make Cardinals life eat Saints. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of people say Saints. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Saints as well because I truly do feel like the Saints are going to win this game. I think the Falcons are going to give them a tough matchup. And because it's a division matchup, you really never know what's going to happen here. But I do see the Saints are going to win this game. So let's go with the Saints winning this game. Now let's move on here. This one, this Jets that's AFC, so we're not going to mess with AFC. We're not going to worry about the Patriots. Tampa Bay versus the Carolina Panthers. I think that's an obvious one too, right? We're going to have to give it over to the Bucks, right? Is that completely fair? I'm just going to go with the first yes, or if you think the Panthers are actually going to win, let me know in the comments. I think that one's kind of an easy one. Let's give it to Tampa. Tampa, boom, here we go. And now we have these two games. Now, these two games right here is going to be so huge for this Arizona Cardinal team right here. We got the Arizona Cardinals versus the Seattle Seahawks, and then we have the San Francisco 49ers versus the LA Rams. Now, obviously, we're an Arizona Cardinal. You know, we're an Arizona Cardinal fan base, right? Like most people in here are Cardinal fans. So when we look at this Arizona Cardinals versus the Seattle Seahawks, would you give the edge over to the Arizona Cardinals and get away from all the history that has happened so far, at least recent history where we beat them up there and they beat us here and we can never kick a field goal to save our life when we're playing them? Or would you say the Seahawks are actually going to upset the Cardinals and they're going to win? What do you guys think here? So far, we're seeing Cardinals, cards. All right. I agree. I'm going to put my homer hat on, right? I'm going to put my homer hat on. Cardinals are going to win. All right. So we got the Cardinals going up. Perfect. So we're still sitting at the 5th seed. As of right now, this game right here, San Francisco 49ers versus the LA Rams. Let's say, for example, the San Francisco 49ers win. Boom. San Francisco 49ers win. Because that is actually the history that we've seen so many times. Kyle Shanahan beats the heck out of Sean McVay. Almost like Sean McVay for the last 4 or 5 years has had the Arizona Cardinals number. Kyle Shanahan is pretty much that equivalent to Sean McVay. It's so freaking crazy. What we need this year is for the San Francisco 49ers to do us a freaking solid. We need to do a freaking solid for this Arizona Cardinal team. Now, here's one thing that we also forgot to mention. The San Francisco 49ers are playing for something here. The San Francisco 49ers are playing for something here. That's right. I said it. And if you're asking me, what am I talking about, Mike? Check this out. If the Rams win the San Francisco 49ers, check it out. The San Francisco 49ers are no longer in the playoffs. The seeding from, the 7th seed now goes over to the New Orleans Saints. So the San Francisco 49ers, they need to win this game. Because if you look at the Saints versus the Falcons can win. It's a division game, but I think more realistically, the Saints are going to win that game. So what does that tell me? The San Francisco 49ers need to win this game in order for them to make the playoffs. If they don't, they are out of the playoffs like this. With a snap of the finger, they are out. Now for us, we now become from the 5th seed to the 3rd seed. And then this is what we're looking at here. We got the Green Bay Packers sitting at the number 1 seed. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Philadelphia Eagles, the Cardinals versus the San Francisco 49ers, and then the Cowboys versus the Los Angeles Rams. That's what we would be looking at if the San Francisco 49ers does us an absolute solid. But obviously, I think this is the kind of thing that we want to see as fans, because this seeding here is going to put us at the NFC West, and we will win the NFC West. But if the San Francisco 49ers lose, like I said, with a snap, and I saw it in the comments just like that, it was 100% just like that, with just a snap, they are completely out. And this puts the Arizona Cardinals at the 5th seed or staying at the 5th seed, and we're playing the 4th seed, the Dallas Cowboys. And we're going to go right back to Jerry's world. Or, in our personal opinion, Kyler's world. So, what do you guys think? Now, I know it's kind of hard to root against your team and say, well, we have a better matchup with this team as opposed to that team. But realistically, this game, there's 3 games that are really going to matter. This 3 games that are absolutely going to matter tremendously this weekend for the Arizona Cardinals. That's the Saints versus the Falcons, and that's just more because implications on the Rams and the 49ers. But yeah, the Rams and the 49ers. So Saints, Falcons, Rams, 49ers, and obviously Cardinals versus Seahawks. So let's just say, for example, the Arizona Cardinals don't win. Let's say, for example, the Arizona Cardinals lose against the Seattle Seahawks. Let's just say we live in that world, right? Let's say we live in that world. Let's say the 49ers won. They did us a solid. Perfect. Awesome. Appreciate you guys. But the Arizona Cardinals can't get the job done against the Seattle Seahawks, and we lose. We're still sitting at the 5th seed, but we now play the Rams. So this weekend is absolutely crazy, man. So crazy. Now, if you're gonna ask me which matchup I would want, I don't care. We're gonna have to play these teams anyways. Do I think we match up well against the Rams? I think recently we do. Maybe the last game wasn't the best, but the very first game was just a look of what we can become. And then we have the Cowboys. We already beat the Cowboys. It's probably really hard for the Arizona Cardinals to beat, a team 2 times in a row, especially 2-3 weeks apart. That's gonna be pretty tough, but it can be done. And then we also have on the other side of the coin the San Francisco 49ers. We swept the 49ers. But it's so hard to beat a team in the same season 3 straight times. So this right here, this weekend, I'm going to have my eyes glued onto the TV, and we're really going to figure out where the Arizona Cardinals seating is going to be. Absolutely imperative. Absolutely imperative. So let me just kind of recap here what we did and what is this looking like right now. This right here, I have the San Francisco 49ers doing us a solid, and they're in the playoffs. They're sitting at the 6th seed, and the Arizona Cardinals, messing up and they lose against the Seahawks. So now we're playing the Rams. But as Cardinal fans, if we win, boom, now we're playing the 49ers. If the Saints lose against the Falcons and the 49ers lose against the Rams, we're playing the Cowboys again. This weekend is going to be absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Now, I do think that the 49ers are going to beat the Rams. I really do feel that in my hearts of hearts. I think that we are going to, or they're going to beat them. Something to do with Kyle Shanahan versus Sean McVay. Something to do. This is what I think we're going to be looking like here. This is the seeding I think that we're going to be looking like. But honestly, yeah, we're going to leave it over to the football gods, right? All we can do as Cardinal fans is we got to allow we got to allow this to kind of play out. Can't really do anything as fans, just kind of watch and support. We're in the playoffs. But right now what we're looking at, the most likely opponents for the Arizona Cardinals, the 49ers, the Cowboys, or the Rams. The most likely opponents. Now there is a scenario where we do play the Bucks. There is a scenario, I'm assuming, that we do. No, I don't think we can ever be the number 2 seed. I don't think we can. Well, maybe we can. Maybe we can. But that's gonna require the Bucks to lose against them, Yeah. So in order for us to become the number 2 seed, we need the Bucks to lose against the Panthers, and I just don't see that happening. And then that'll put us against the Eagles. And like I said, I don't see that happening. But you never know. It's a division game, right? Panthers. And maybe the Bucks might be sitting some people. I know Bruce Arians said that they're not going to sit people, but you never know. It's going to be a bumpy ride this weekend here, ladies and gentlemen. A bumpy ride. And like I said, if you guys have never messed with that playoff simulator, I highly recommend it. All you need to do is go to Google and type NFL playoff machine. And it should be one of the first links, and it's going to take you to that exact same screen. And you can kind of go back and forth. What if the Arizona Cardinals did this? What if this team did this against that team? What if that team did this against that team? It's a very fun thing and an addictive thing for you to do here, ladies and gentlemen, but it is going to be absolutely nuts. If you guys haven't already, we have 108 people right now chilling with the AZ Sports Fan here on a Friday night. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Smack that like button. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. We're going to be following this whole, playoff seeding here very, very closely here for the Arizona Cardinals. Very, very closely. Now, I know we have some people that just joined right now that wasn't in the beginning of the stream. Yes, the biggest news that came out today, and I think it's definitely something worth mentioning again, being that J.J. Watt is now designated off the IR. Absolutely huge for the Arizona Cardinals. He's obviously not playing against the Seahawks. That's definitely not going to happen. I think 99.9% he's not going to be playing against the Seattle Seahawks. But it's a sign of the right direction. It's definitely a sign of the right direction. Maybe we can get him in the first playoff game. It's just a lot of up in the air right now. A lot of up in the air. Now, Chase Edmonds has been ruled out. If you guys don't know those already, Chase Edmonds has been ruled out, as well as Rondale Moore. Now, as of right now, James Conner. I don't really know exactly the status of James Conner. I haven't seen any real updates about James Conner as of right now. So I think he's going to be that game time decision. What's going to happen with him? But if he doesn't play, we're going to see Eno Benjamin, and we're going to see Jonathan Ward, which obviously everybody fell in love with Jonathan Ward. The one-handed catch, the freakish one-handed catch that guy pins it on. It was an amazing catch. So I'm right there with you. But everybody has fallen in love with the Jonathan Ward. And I'm right there with you too. But Eno Benjamin has always been a player that I always loved watching, especially in ASU. So very, very, very excited to see what's going to happen with the running back core here. But big shout out, man. Big shout out to my guy, Eduardo Cruz. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much for the super chat. You didn't have to. Thank you. He says Cardinals versus the Cheeseheads in the NFC Championship game. Love you, man. Keep doing your thing. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much for being here. That means the world. Let me give you a shout out, man. Thank you so very much. Let me give you a big thank you. Thanks a lot. Got him. Appreciate the super chat, man. You definitely didn't have to, but thank you. This would be obviously ideal, right? I feel like the Cardinals always have, the Packers number, man, especially when we play them in the playoffs. Now, the Packers, they beat us. They beat us in this, in this year. They prevented us from going, 8-0, and I feel like we have a chip on our shoulder. And if they don't, we should have a chip on our shoulder when it comes down to playing the Packers. Because we're usually very, very good against the Cheeseheads, aka the Packers, in the playoffs. Now, I get it, different regime, but the Arizona Cardinals could have won that game, man. We could have won that game. A lot of people always mention, AJ Green. Can AJ Green just turn around? We would have won that game. But not only that, ladies and gentlemen, but we were sitting, in the 5-yard? We were very close. We were within the 10. If we just ran the ball and ran the ball and ran the ball and hoped that we were going to get a touchdown, and if we didn't get a touchdown, we could have settled for a field goal and tied that game, and we would have been in overtime. A lot of us don't really talk about it. A lot of us don't really talk about it at all. And we look at the game and we're like, AJ Green, if he just turned around, we would have won it. I get it. I'm right there with you. But that game could have been tied. Matt Prater could have had a clutch kick and tied it, and we could have gone to OT. It's just unfortunate the way that it landed. But honestly, sometimes you kind of have to have those games. You have to learn from those games. Champ says there was no time. You might be right. I forgot how many time was left. You might have been right. Yes, you actually you might have been right on that. The time was actually very, very. But what we could have done is just kick the ball. I get it. We're going for the touchdown. I'm right there with you. Yeah. Now I remember. I feel like it's been such a long time ago. But you're right. Yeah, you're right. The time was definitely a big concern there. But we could have tied that game too. And that kind of, it's okay. We learned from it. We learned from it. We learned from it. Let's keep on reading to the comments here. Let's keep on seeing what you guys have to say. But that game right there got us our first loss of the season. But still, we're still sitting in a great position as of right now. Let's keep on reading to the comments here. Let's see what you guys have to say. Let's see here. Jonathan, what's up, Jonathan? Any word on D-Hop? As of right now, there's no updates on DeAndre Hopkins as of right now. What's kind of been the word that they've been telling a lot of fans is that he most likely will be NFC West Conference if we go that far into the into the playoffs. NFC Conference is kind of where they're leaning towards, but I'm not even 100% sure on that, man. I saw a lot of different articles out there saying that he might not even be back. So we got to have our wide receivers step up. I mean, that's just kind of plain and simple as that. Let's keep on reading to the comments here. BBH, what's up, dude? It says open up the phone lines for predictions and thoughts. Oh, I like that. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, let's do that. Last 15. Well, let's do this first. Put some fire emojis. Let's get some freaking fire emojis in the comments below. If you guys want to open up the phone lines and you guys want to hear what your Red Sea, your Bird Gang peers have to say, put some fire emojis in the comments below. We can open up the phone lines. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that when we do open up the phone lines, it's first come, first serve. I always like to hear new blood. I always like to hear different perspectives. So if we're having different people come through, I'm going to allow them to speak. I'm not going to be able to get to everybody. It's just not the world we live in. So kind of keep that in mind. I apologize if I'm not able to get to you, but just keep that in mind. So keep on reading the comments. Let's see here. Many experts don't mention the Cardinals can make it to the NFC championship, but I do believe because it'll be yeah, I agree. Well, here's keep this in mind. The biggest reason why a lot of people are kind of doubting the Arizona Cardinals now is because the Arizona Cardinals put ourselves in this position. Like we really did. We could have been the number 1 seed, and if that was the case, we would have been able to, been in that talk. But I feel like the Arizona Cardinals are better when they're not really looked at very much. I feel like when you look at the Arizona Cardinals with a microscope, we kind of start, going down in a ball. So like, it's okay. Like I was one of those people too that was really upset with the national media. Like, how come you don't talk about us? But honestly, we put ourselves in this position right now, and we just got to get better. We got to take care of the business that we need to take care of. JJ Watt's close to me. Yes, he is close to being back for sure. Yep. Packers number 1 seed. Yes, correct. Packers are the number 1 seed. We were going through a simulator here just a little earlier. If you guys were just coming into the stream, we had a simulator that we were kind of going back and forth and seeing where the Arizona Cardinals can land. And the most likely opponents that the Arizona Cardinals can face in the playoffs would either be the Rams, the 49ers, or the Cowboys, just really depending on how it kind of lands. We can become a number 2 seed if the Bucs lose against the Panthers, but that's just very not. I don't think that's definitely something that's going to happen. So, Teddy says Dallas ain't playing there. Ooh, I didn't know that. I got to look into that. I'm not sure if they are going to play their stars or not, but that's definitely something to look into, because if that's the case, then Philly might have an opportunity there, though. They might have an opportunity. We got some fire emojis in the comments below. Let's open up the phone lines for like the last 10 minutes on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Appreciate everybody for rocking here with the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. If you guys haven't smacked up the like button, what are we waiting for? Listen, smack that like button. Right now we're sitting with 45 likes on this video with 110 people watching. Do me that solid. Smack that like button. Let's run it up. Let's open up the phone lines to see what the Red Sea has to say, and let's get this going here. Putting the link on the comments below right now. I'm pinning it at the top of the chat. All you need to do is click on the link and turn on your video and come on to the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube, and everything should be golden. Click on the link. All you need to do, if you're on YouTube, Just got to click on it. If you're on any other platform, Facebook or what's it, Facebook or Twitter, which now we're streaming on Twitter and Facebook. So shout out to those other platforms. Thanks everybody for for coming through and supporting. If you guys don't follow me in any of my socials, make sure that you do that. Every link is in the description below of this video. Just FYI. So we are going to open up the phone lines here shortly. Let's give it about a minute so we can kind of get people rolling through. And let me explain again, because I know I used to do things differently. I used to tell you guys to follow me on Instagram, and I sent you a link, blah, 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 blah. Now it's different. I just pin a link at the top of the chat. That's all I need. Just click on the link. Click on the link, come through, turn your camera on, and everything is going to be beautiful from there. All right, let's get everybody situated here. I got the link all pinned up. Let me close this out so I don't hear myself double, because that would be creepy. Let's get this going here. 1 second. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's take a look to see what our Bird Gang has to say, man. Let's take a look to see what. Let's start off with Lennon. Lennon, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube, man. Talk, man. How you feeling? You are on mute, my boy. Hey, Lenny, you're muted. Yeah, you're good.
My bad.
You're good, man. No worries.
It's gonna be a great game, but we gotta keep the lead. But they could be. The Seahawks always have our number at home, but hopefully the 49ers have to beat the Rams. They have to, because we gotta win that division. The last time they won the division, I was like 5 years old. I was like very young, but hopefully, in my opinion, what I want to see in this game, number one, run the ball. Number two, well, sometimes you might want to throw the ball, but don't throw sometimes, because you might throw to a turnover, but don't throw some turnovers. I have to say number three. And number four, do not miss the field goals, just like Matt Prater against the Seahawks. I think the reason why Matt Prater has missed some field goals against the Seahawks is pretty sure of the weather in Seattle, because it's game old now since we're in January of 2022. But hopefully the Cardinals get to win this game and make the playoffs and just go to the Super Bowl, probably face the Buccaneers if Tom Brady be able to beat the Panthers, or we can beat the Packers, or anybody that we can play in the playoffs. I would like that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Appreciate you, man. As always, Lennon, have a great rest of your day, all right, dude? All right, man, let's move on here to the next person here. If you guys haven't already, smack that like button. Definitely run it up, y'all. Let's get my guy BBH ALV coming up here. BBH, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube, man. Talk to me. How you feeling about Cardinals versus Seahawks?
I'm feeling great, honestly. I'm excited for this game, and I know everyone's here saying like, "Oh, we're gonna there's a slight chance we might lose because the Seahawks are our number at home." But remember, last year we beat them and broke their undefeated record last year at home. So remember that. So I don't think we're gonna blow them out. I think it's gonna be a close game because at home it's always a close game. We had that tie. We beat them by 3. They beat us by 2. Like, it's gonna be a close game. I already know it's gonna be a good one. I wish this was a Sunday night game because it's always a good game with the Cardinals at home against the Seattle Seahawks. It's always a good game. But I do want to mention this. We need the Saints to win, because if they lose, the 49ers are in automatically. So they don't have anything to play for. And I don't want them screwing us over. How the Giants screwed over I think it was the Washington? No, they screwed over the Cowboys. They screwed over the Cowboys to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I remember that. No, I think it was the Giants, because the Cowboys were in. No, I don't remember. I know what you're talking about.
No, the Eagles. The Eagles. The Eagles screwed them over because they took out Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. It was a mess. Yeah, I know a lot of NFC East people were upset, but the crazy part about all these games is they all play at the exact same time. The exact same time. We got the Cardinals versus the Rams. I'm sorry, Cardinals versus Seahawks, Rams versus 49ers, and then the Saints versus Falcons. They're all at the same time. So we really kind of need to take care of business, and we can't really scoreboard watch, or at least the players can't. It's crazy.
I know, and I hope we do win, because if we win, we have the division, and we have something to lean on for next year if we are a 1 and out. But if we lose and don't get the division, and we get blown out in the first round, then I'm a big iffy on keeping um our coach Cliff. I don't feel safe around him if we don't win the division and we lose badly in the playoffs.
Okay, so you're saying that if we do lose, so let's say for example we lose, we don't win the division, and we go into the playoffs and we lose in the first round, you're still kind of on that fire cliff train.
I'm leaning towards it. I get it. We made the playoffs. That was everyone's goal in mind. But we had the division in our hand for the entire year,
True.
and we squandered it towards the end. I don't know what's wrong with December, but December is our worst month. And like I mentioned before in one of your videos, we never seen Cardinals football in January. So this is very, very new.
Oh, so stoked. Appreciate you, man. Have a great rest of your day. Okay, dude. Later, dude. All right, let's keep the conversation going here. Let's get my guy AZ Sports Corner up in here right now. AZ Sports Corner, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube, man. Talk to me. How you feeling? Cardinals versus Seahawks. What's up, dude?
What's up, brother? Can you hear me?
What's on, man?
All right, cool. So I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good, man. I think we're gonna win, and I don't think it's gonna be that close.
Okay.
To be honest, I think our guys are gonna be fired up, and we're gonna take care of business. Especially, they know that we suck at home. Like, I'm sure they're gonna want to be like going after him, and I think that Chan's gonna go like crazy, like he always does against Russ. And I think I see a lot of turnovers in this game by Seattle, and our offense is gonna get the job done. I think we're gonna do really great. But other than that, I don't think everybody should be worrying too much about who we face because, really, it's in God's hands at this point.
Yeah.
We have no control. We could sit here and say we would prefer so-and-so over this team or whatever, but at the end of the day,
yeah, the opposite happens.
Zero control. But, hey, got my son's hat on.
Nice.
And I want to be a city of champions, man. We need the Cardinals to get that Lombardi and the Suns to bring it home in the finals this year. But, I mean, if JJ plays in the first game for the playoffs, which is what I'm thinking is going to happen, I think we're set. Because then I'm pretty sure Phillips will be there. Peters will be there, and JJ is going to be there. We'll have Golden. We'll have Chandler. Our defense will be stacked, ready to go. I think we're in a really great spot right now. And then if we get Rondale back and Connor, we're good. I mean, I look at Wesley, and I think he's going to be like the perfect replacement for like D-Hop. Not like in the future. I'm just saying like in terms of this plug and play, because the athleticism he's showing right now, like in the Cowboys game when he leapt up for that touchdown, I'm like, dude, the athleticism's there. And he doesn't need to be super, super crazy, you know, because if we have Rondale and all these other guys too, we got a lot of different options. I think we're in a really good spot. So all we got to do is just grind, get to the NFC Championship. And if we got to play Green Bay, which is probably if we make it that far, we'll probably play them. We'll beat them. I think we can. And you know what? They didn't face J.J. Watt. And JJ's going to probably be playing with his head on fire, dude. I mean, he wants the Lombardi so bad. Like, you know that I know he's come back for first game. I'll tell you that right now. I know a lot of people are like, I don't know, they might sit him. No, he's playing.
Yeah, he's gonna play. Yeah. What about D-Hop, man? What do you think? If you would give any prediction, man, it's so up in the air right now with D-Hop. What do you think about him, man?
Well, see, I'm praying that they're keeping it secret because I thought we might not have a chance to get JJ back, and I think we're getting him back. So, I don't really necessarily feel the same optimism about D-Hop, but if we're lucky, we're going to get JJ back in first game. I think we could take care of business in that first playoff game and just pray they come out of nowhere and say that Hop comes back for game 2. If not, then we'll just have to keep rolling. But, oh, man, if they just keep it a secret, like, nope, he's good. He's come back for the second playoff game. Like, we're set.
Imagine
but the only thing that would worry me is if he comes back, how's he going to play right off that knee injury and everything?
True. Yeah, very true.
But I'd rather have him here than not. So
true. All right, man. Appreciate you as always, man. Have a great rest of your day. Later.
Thank you, man.
All right, let's move on here. Let's get my guy Jordan P up in here right now. The guy with the hot takes. Let's go. We have Jordan P. What's up, dude, man? You're live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube, man. What's up? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. You know, Seattle. At the end of the day, this is another game where, you know, like, hey, we're gonna show our true colors. You know, this is a game we have to win no matter what happens on, you know, the other games. And you know, we couldn't take care of business in Detroit. We couldn't take care of business on Christmas. So you know, it's showing a pattern, and I feel like the only way to go out on a high note is to win these last 2 games. Because if you win these last 2 games, you know, the little skid, the 3-game skid, it's like, oh well, you know, every team kind of has a little skid, and we bounce back. But if you go in, lose to the Seahawks, and I don't know. It just seems like it'll just feel like a bad vibe.
Yeah.
And Bobby Wagner's out, so
That's official now.
yeah, it's been official for a while. He has
Gotcha.
something with his knee or something. So that's their best player this year, and he's been their best player for a while. Obviously outside of Russ,
Right.
but you know the demise of this team. I know everybody's saying like we can't win in December. It's partially that notion of Cliff at the end of the season. Every year, even since college, he's gone bad. The team has gone bad with their record at the end of the season. But for this year, even last year, it's injuries, man. Kyler Murray. Everybody wants to talk about. He has these interception problems, or he has a problem with this. If y'all seen the stats, he's only played with his whole starting O line in 4 games all year. Only 4. He's had his O line only for 4 games. So that's insane to me. We're always having these backups come in and out, and we're supposed to think that they say next up man mentality, but who's the next man you got up? A guy that just came off the street because nobody else wanted him.
Right.
So like that's a huge factor, and I think D-Hop being out, this is gonna show like in the because playoffs is when it gets real, and this is gonna show D-Hop's worth because we've seen it already, but now when everything gets amped up, you're gonna see whether or not D-Hop is really what we say he is and what we pay him to be. So I mean, I think we can get past 1 round without D-Hop, but I can't see going.
I think in the stretch, long run, we need him. Yeah, for sure.
I think the NFC Championship game is when he'll probably be back if we make it there. JJ's gonna be back. I've been saying this for a while. He's gonna be back.
Yeah.
But now I just want to see what is our offense gonna look like in a real playoff game. This is win or go home. This is not we lost, but we got a game next week.
Right.
This is
gotta give him
win
credit,
or go home. So we'll see.
What about you on the Cliff, man? The Cliff situation. I know we're kind of evenly about that. Is that still staying the same? Like, how are you feeling?
He's gonna get another year, and I'm okay with it because we might be 12-5 if we win.
If we win, yep.
Great record, but there's still questions. Like the thing I see a lot on like social media is like if you criticize Cliff or somebody on the team, it's like we have 12 wins, and it's like great teams, even if they have these great records or whatever it is, they're still gonna question who like these things that are happening within the team or players or things like that. Like we can't just say, we have 12 wins, so who cares? Don't question, don't criticize.
It's like the Band-Aid fix. Yeah, I'm right there too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like these end of the game calls or his time management or like we're having a rhythm of passing the ball and then he calls a stupid play, a wildcat. Like you have Kyler as your quarterback. That's already a wildcat every time. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, so
true.
I think he's progressively getting better. Obviously the record has progressively getting better as well. But next year I feel like it's gonna be the make or break it. I know we don't want to fire him because finding a whole new coach is so much work. But to win a Super Bowl, you cannot have a coach doing these untimely things over and over and over. And I think that's gonna show in this playoffs, to be honest.
Yeah, man, I hope not, obviously, because we want the best for the Cardinals, but I kind of, hopefully not. But, brother, I'll see you later, dude. Thank you so much for coming on. The whole Cliff thing, I do think he's going to get another year or two. I think that when you're putting this season on paper, they're going to say, well, we're at the playoffs, right? Like, this was our goal. We hit the playoffs. But that kind of only magnifies next year. You know what I mean? Next year is going to be absolutely more magnified because what the next goal should be Super Bowl, right? What, Super Bowl or bust? I just hate looking at that mentality because you also got to look at what we've done. And, the record's really good, but can he be the guy to get us the Lombardi? Like, that's the biggest question. And as of right now, we're a good team. We could possibly be 12-5 if we just get the job done, or we can be 11-6 team. So, I mean, just kind of really depends on what happens here with this Arizona Cardinal team as of right now. But, if we can just stop Wildcats, if we can just run, if we're at the 3-yard line, the 4-yard line, if it's first and goal, we're sitting at the 4, just run the darn ball. Just run it. I don't want to see anything else. Kyler Murray, don't put it all on Kyler. Just run the darn ball. If it's Jonathan Ward, Eno Benjamin, James Conner, or Chase Edmonds. I don't care. Just run the darn ball. But ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the hour mark. I appreciate everybody for coming through. We will have another section where we will be opening up the phone lines again. I promise you we will do this again. We're going to go ahead and cut the stream right here just because we're at the hour mark and, obviously got some family things to do here on my end. But I appreciate everybody for coming through. I most likely will be doing a watch party for Cardinals versus Seahawks. Make sure you stay tuned. If you do want to come through, make sure you have your post notification bell on where I do play-by-play. It's a lot of emotion. It's a lot of jumping in the air. It's a lot of me sinking into the darn freaking seat. A lot of different stuff. So you want to see that type of stuff, come through onto YouTube, and I will be doing that most likely more than not. And then we can also, take a look to see what happens, 49ers versus Rams, all different stuff. We can all kind of, follow it all together here. But appreciate everybody for coming through. Thank you so very much. Smack that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. And as always, thank you for being here. And go Cards.